What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the Dynamic Knights Esports Masters tier here on the PS4. We're here for round number 9 here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, obviously a few things to catch up on. There's what happened at the Austrian Grand Prix and the Belgium Grand Prix, which I unfortunately couldn't take part in both those races. So there's the championship standings. It's 47 points between Zach and 40. We're dropped all the way to 15th place. Mercedes have a 113-point margin over Racing Point, and Haas are in position number 7 there. Now, a few things to clear up as well. Obviously, like I mentioned, Austria and Belgium, I didn't take part in. Austria, reasoning was there that racing. I was just pretty much basically tired after all those. We got a little bit too close there with X Revolution and myself there, so I apologise for that one. I didn't realise how wide he was going to run there, but literally just trying to get out of everybody's road here. But round 7, I was just exhausted after a long, hard day of work, and yeah, racing was just the last thing on my mind. Like I mentioned, there's probably a few times where that will happen, sort of thing. So just my work will get a little bit caught up a little bit here. I know it's late at night, like 8:30 p.m. on a Friday night, but yeah, sometimes that may occur. That was the reasoning for Austria. The reasoning for Belgium I couldn't take part in is because I had no internet. So basically, there's like a feed box or something that obviously feeds my internet to my place. And unfortunately, water got into that because, wouldn't you know it, bloody birds decided to chew on it. So I thought it was fun to chew on it. Nice farming life as always, but yeah, nice cockatoos. Don't ask me about bloody cockatoos anyway, so they like chewing a lot of things, but like, yeah. So basically I had no internet and could take part in that round, obviously, but we're back again for the Spanish Grand Prix. The internet was fixed before this round, so that was great to see, and we're back obviously racing for this round. So yeah, it's been a couple of rounds between drinks, so hopefully we can get ourselves some decent-ish points, fingers crossed, hopefully. Obviously, my internet's not quite fully fixed. I think it will have to be rectified just a little bit more on the top of my place, because again, birds have affected it a little bit as well. So, but yeah, into this one, not really too much practice going into this round. I think I borrowed no, what did I do? I think I used a setup from RaceSpec F1 Esports, which, I mean, it got me a point in that round. So, I may as well use it again for this round, and we'll see whether it works. Hopefully, obviously with this league, obviously you get rewarded points from P1 to P20. So probably doesn't matter where we finish unless something dreadful occurs or something bad happens and can't be asked to race anyway. But we jump up into P10 with that lap time at a 1 minute 20. What was it? A 20.243. on the hard compounded tyres. You probably saw on the first lap we had a way oversteering moment coming out of turn 2 there. Now, actually, I don't understand why my lap, this and the next lap get invalidated. It was just literally just off the road, and just letting other drivers who are on hot laps doing their flyers. Anyway, I just don't get that part anyway. But I decided to do another lap this time. I think it was for this lap. Yeah, I decided to do it, so you can see it again. That was a similar thing. It might have been something to do with the way I was riding the curbs coming out of turn 2. I felt like the car was set up okay. I might have done maybe a few odd tweaks between, obviously, the RaceSpec event, which was a while back now, and this one. But we probably would have set a 19.626, I think it was, had we not obviously invalidated like the game has said. But anyway. Hopefully the footage as well is not too bad. I have seen it on my previous screen. It might be a little bit all over the shop. So, I mean, it's out of my hands, unfortunately. So I don't know what it is, because some of them have just been like smooth. Some of my footage has been smooth, but other times.
Fastest lap is a 1 minute 20.2.
Some of my footage has sometimes just been smooth as. But that probably has to do with my editing software. But other times my footage just not ideal, so again I apologise about that one if it doesn't look ideal here. But we're now on our out on our second run here on the medium compound tyres, because that's usually the tyre you want to qualify on around here, as my teammate's actually out of the qualifying session, and it looks like he's crashed between turns 5 and 6. I don't know how exactly you do that, whether you set something or what, I have no idea, but as we obviously invalidated a lap. So this lap was just mainly just like a warm-up lap. Have heard sometimes back in the past that the second lap is much more effective than the first lap, so that's basically what I'm doing here, is just trying to make sure I find myself a little bit of room here to work with here. We're down in position 14 here. We've dropped obviously a few spots after that, the first, well, the lap that I did, the fastest lap in the hard competitive tyre. So here we go. This is my fastest lap of the qualifying session, going very wide. They're using every single bit of track you can. Didn't quite take a lot of curve there. I was just being a bit more cautious on this lap, considering obviously what happened the first couple of times on the hard competitive tyres. Using every little bit of track you can, coming into turn 4. Run it out very wide here. Now into turn 5. I'm going to break it close there, right up into the apex there. Get on the power early. Don't run out too wide, because you can invalidate your lap time if you run out wide at the exit of turn 5. Now turn 6 and 7, it is a tricky corner here, as you can tell. You can easily lose the back end, whether it's the entry or the exit, as we fly through turn 9. Not quite flat out, I don't think. Just had to have a little bit of a lift there. We do improve our time a little bit. It is a little bit glitched by Delta compared to what the split time is, so I don't know what on earth was going on there. Nice game as always. We now flow through the slow part here in sector 3. A little bit sideways through here into turn 13. It's now into the final chicane here, as qualifying is now complete. We've dropped all the way back to 16th place here at the moment, so hopefully this lap time is looking pretty decent to jump us back up, and it does. We jump up into P5. Well, for the time being, at least. But I think there was a few guys that were still doing flies after I finished, and in the end, we do drop all the way back to position 10 in the end. So Aussie Wizzy Rick ends up on pole position, but there's a couple of guys in the top 10 that are starting on the soft compounded tyres, being obviously the pole sitter, Dr. Dre, and Aaron. They're on the soft compounded tyres. My teammate had an absolute shocker there. He's P18, so not ideal starting position for him with Lazy Tower and tow. He's at Rudy NZ at the back of the grid. But, oh, here we go. We're all going to jump straight into it here. No formation, 5 red lights. And let's do it around the Spanish Grand Prix. That really took me by surprise there. It's, we're racing here. Aaron is already flying off the line there. So going 3 wide down into turn 1. So we're somehow ghosting through Dr. Dre. That probably has something to do with my internet. There's chaos already. I've had to take avoiding action here. I had no other choice but to literally cut the chicane at turns 1 and 2. And we get a virtual safety car, obviously. There was a lot of cars that were caught up in that.
Which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
But literally, I'll take that. We're up into P6 after all that. So we're not too far behind these guys, as I probably cheated the delta time a little bit there, so sorry about that, guys. But like I said, if you're not the, I have heard, obviously in the past, if you're not the host, you can cheat the delta time. Hopefully that is fixed in the next game, and hopefully penalties will be handed out once F1 2020 comes over. There's a few guys I think have retired in the pit lane. Well, Dr. Dre's retired, Aaron's retired in the pit lane. So it's we're still hanging on here, position 6 here, and well, I felt like something was going to happen very, very shortly, but as we set our fastest middle sector there, obviously it's obviously the first flyer literally after the virtual safety car, but I felt like this was a pretty handy spot here. We can hang on for this position especially, be on for some decent points here, but as you probably see here, there's be quite a few guys. Toddy's now retired. There's you probably see there's quite a few guys that have actually now started to leave the session here, and I was thinking, what on earth's going on here? There's a tyre on the track there. I don't know where that's come from. This is another virtual safety car come out there, so but I think you'll find, I think we're going to have a restart here. So I was literally did not have a clue what on earth was going on here. There's Aussie Wizzy Rick way off the road there. I think he may have been taken out by one of the other competitors there, but yeah, you can see everybody's leaving the session, and it wasn't too long later before I felt like, yeah, I'm going to have to do what everybody else says. It's this is on board with Stuart McKenzie. This is the replay. I think he was caught off guard here by what happened here. As I'll explain it a little bit later once we get into the next lobby. But as you see, that's contact.
Watch out, boys.
And then that would explain what all this chaos was all happening down here.
Fuck, man, who forgot to set the fucking formation lap up?
Virtual safety car.
So yeah,
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I will say it had something to do with the formation lap. That is for sure.
Oh my
But
fucking god.
yeah, probably Mako probably just gave it away then. So you can probably work that out, but I'll probably explain it a bit
Aaron's
later.
retired.
So you can see Maka did come in for the new front wing change. So the guys behind, a few guys were retiring.
Go. Exit now.
So I think he'll come out in 18th position, I should say.
No, it was Smeg.
But then all stuff happened. There's Toddy, who's had another moment coming through turn 2. So not entirely sure what happened to him there and that. Well, on that start anyway. Plebs, on board we go with Plebs, who starts in 17th. Oh, Romy Alonso went nowhere off the line. Probably he didn't even realise that it was no formation lap. But so nice reaction there from Plebs to avoid all that. There's chaos through there. There's obviously the contact coming through there. Obviously, I took avoiding action here. Plebs avoided all of this. I don't know how some guys avoided all of that. Wouldn't have surprised me if a few guys got wing damage from that. Maybe my teammate as well. Not entirely sure there, but there was a bit of cheeky stuff going on here as well, or whether this is a glitch as well, because Toddy did a bit of a cheeky there as well. Bit cheeky there, passing under the yellow flags. You're not supposed to, especially when it's a safety car, a virtual safety car, but there was players up the inside there of Gaming Wafer. This was on lap 3, and then all this drama turned out there in the foreground as one of the Ferraris goes straight into the wall. I think it's Spilly, then up way in the wall there. And I think Tao was literally just giving Plebs a little bit of a push along here, and this is what was all going on here. I think this is after I left the session. This Plebs goes for a nice 360 pretty much, and yeah, just slams. I think he slammed into my car in the end. After all that, gets a 5-second penalty, I think it was in the end. But yeah, basically what it was, like I said, Maka probably gave it away there. Somebody forgot to turn the formation lap on. So yeah, that was the basic gist of that one.
Lots of cars on the grid today. Make sure you steer clear of any incidents going into turn 1.
Well, fingers crossed that happens. This does not happen this time in the second attempt anyway. So, yeah, second attempt here in the lobby. We're about to finally get off now for the formation lap, yeah, which was turned on for the second time around. As we're already going, obviously, warming up the tyres there. You see as Swaggy's red Xing for me on my screen. I don't know what that was happening for anybody else on their screen, but it might just have been me. But yeah, I was just trying to avoid him as much as I can, so I don't get myself sort of disqualified here. As you can see, literally warming up the tyres, getting a little bit sideways. Someone was way off the road there. I think it was Aaron. It just, I forgot, I just braked a little bit too late there, slammed into the back of Swaggy, and yeah, I got disqualified. So, yeah, that was not the ideal end of the way for the formation lap, but literally everybody just turned up. Literally not too long later. So second attempt here at the Spanish Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it again around Barcelona or Catalonia, and it was not the ideal start. A lot of wheel spin there. Again, Aaron gets a good start. This time he's going to go straight down the middle this time around compared to where he went down the right-hand side. But now we're literally going to be swamped here. We've got Macca's point of view as well on top right. So he obviously got past me. Gaming Wafer as well. Waffles got past me. Now we're going side by side here with Plebs. As you can see, there's quite a battle pack brewing in front here. As I think everybody's got through cleanly, barring maybe one other. As don't ignore that on the top and the left-hand side there. Obviously, I'm part of their communities there, both Arabs and the knobheads. Oh, a little bit of maybe contact there. Thankfully, ghosting on my screen, thankfully with Maka, thankfully. Could have ended ugly, that is for sure, but had they not ghosted. But we managed to avoid all that. We're back into P11 for the time being. So we've dropped, well, we've only dropped one spot really, so pretty lucky there. So we nearly lock up there on the back of Maka. This is side-by-side action going on in front here between, who is that? That's Revolution, I think, in the Red Bull and the Toro Rosso of, can't work that out who it is. Is it a Revolution? Oh, sorry, Dr. Dre. I'll take that back. My apologies. It's Dr. Dre. I think that'd be Waffles in the gaming wafer in the Toro Rosso. So they're having their little battle there up the front there. But now we're going to be under attack here from Romy Alonso in a second or two. I felt like I had pretty decent speed down the front straight here. I think I more had set up more for like the sort of the slower the corners anyway of the circuit, but he ran wide there, and I think Plev's going to take full advantage. Yes, he does. So that's up into P12 for him. We're dropped now to 13th. Not ideal there for us, unfortunately. So the next pit stop, I'm going to have to change the front wing back down to 5. Just maybe just to get a little bit more straight line speed, or whether that was something else, I don't know. But now Spilly's not far behind us as well. We're still trying to hang on to the back end of Plevs here, as now our DRS has gone offline, so that's just what you need. As safety car's been deployed, Aaron is gone again. But this time he's gone for. This time he's actually out of the Grand Prix. There's a glitchy tyre barrier there. As we slam into the back of Plevs there, I sort of misjudged that a little bit. I might have been caught off by something else there. Might have been the glitchy tyre barrier or something else. Or whether it was the DRS. But we're going to have to pit, obviously, come into the pit lane here and make sure we don't slam into the back of Plevs there. But unfortunately, there goes the other half of the front wing. So we're definitely, we were going to change the front wing anyway at this pit stop. So, yeah, it's still a long race. It's like 30-odd laps to go in this Grand Prix. So new front wing on. Onto the hard compounder tyres. Be a tough ask to maybe get those to the end of the race. But, hey, you never know. Anything is possible around here, but you probably notice as well as safety car, I think, is having a little bit of a moment. Well, I didn't actually notice it at the time that it was happening, but I noticed it afterwards. But you can see, Amazing has been disqualified. Swaggy's now been disqualified. Spilly's been disqualified. What is going on? Then I realised there's safety car. I have no idea what was going on there. I originally thought it was something else. Well, there's the glitchy tyre barrier off to the right-hand side there, but I originally thought it was something else. I thought it was just the other guys maybe colliding into the safety car because it has stopped all of a sudden. But I think you'll find it's been glitched out there as there's a Williams doing donuts there in the infield. I have a feeling it's Wog Boy, but again, I think people are now leaving the session. So I think we're going to have another restart. So that was all very confusing. There's what happened with Aaron there on the under the safety car. I think Macca was pretty much the closest to that one there. But what's going on here between these guys? This was under safety car, mind you. They were battling away for 8th and 9th. Is it now still going to go side by side here? And okay.
Oh, shit.
Macca does get the move done there. But, oh, why is all this then? My word, that could have ended ugly there. Coming around into turn 4 there.
What, boys?
Yeah, Macca was
Oh,
even
the safety
shocked.
car's letting us go.
Yeah, Macca was just overly shocked there. It's a bit hard to tell. There's the safety car in the front. Obviously, the safety car should pick up the race leader there, but I have no idea what on earth. You see the green lights are on there on the safety car. Everybody's going past. But, yeah, it's very weird. Oh, dear me, that was very close to the back there. I think you'll find that's probably one of the reasons. I think, well, obviously Macca didn't have any issues when he got past the safety car, but obviously other guys...
Oh, shit, you have too. Spilly's been What the fuck's happened here? Oh, my God, another red.
Yeah.
Is this going to...
Another
got to be another red flag, sure.
Zach's doing donuts.
Everyone's doing donuts at the fucking...
Literally, that was what happened in the first... what happened at the first lobby anyway, and we're going to have another red flag here again. So, obviously it was a few guys. Spilly had a shocking start there, the second race start there. So, yeah, obviously a few guys got caught out with that. Obviously passing the safety car. Obviously Macca must have been one of the ones that got away with it, but others weren't so lucky. So, that's just really confusing there. But he's on board with Plevs. Obviously off the second start there. He's on the medium compounded tyres for this one. You can see there's the battle here. You can see I was obviously getting swamped a little bit there as Plevs goes around the outside. I think that's Crossy on the outside. Yes, it is. It's usually comes through here. That was the contact there, and Well, I don't really want to know what happened between my car and Macca's car there. Should have an R18 on that, on what occurred there. But Plebs and Romy Alonso were pretty close to each other there. So I can't remember. Oh no, actually, Plebs might have just come in for the. I'm thinking of something else there. You'll probably see it a bit later on. But Plebs came in for a change of tyre there. As you can see, look at all this chaos under the safety car. I think Wogboy's just waiting for it to catch back up there, and obviously, yeah, it was just all chaotic to say the least there. The safety car was glitched out, I think, on this one, and I think it happens back in another tier as well on this. There's players having a little bit of fun after they get a 5-second penalty, trying to push Romy Alonso there, but I think there was another safety car glitch, I think at this track as well in this league. Correct me if I'm wrong. That might have happened way after this event, obviously, but yeah, I don't know what it is with Spain or whatnot, but there's obviously been some glitch there. I don't know what it was. As Plebs goes sideways, and there goes the rest of the front wing. So he's just literally just having a bit of fun here, I think, while everybody leaves the session. There's only 7 people left in this one, in this lobby. As I think you'll see, fine, he just goes straight ahead, and yeah, that's how DNFs.
Engine off.
Yeah, DNFs out of it anyway, but yeah, again, we have to go for a third restart, I should say. But you'll notice there as well on the lobby that Aaron has got himself under a spectator. Now, it was deemed by the head guys at DNE that Aaron was pretty much going to be out of this race for the rest of this race.
Have fun out there today. Good luck.
Thank you, Jeff. We're going to need it, I think. But yeah, okay. If you haven't worked out already, the strategy is the mediums to the hard compounder tyres. So the third restart, hopefully it's the last restart, and obviously everybody had to reload their setups again. But here we go again for the formation lap again.
Okay, how was the pull-away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to run the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Thank you, Jeff. But like I said, it was decided by the head honchos, you could say, at Dynamic Nights Esports that Aaron was literally going to be out of this race. So yeah, I mean, it was a tough call, but unfortunately that was the way it goes, and Aaron had to put up with it, and he was basically in the commentary box for this. So we gain a position, or basically everybody who was behind Aaron gets a position. So here we go to the Spanish Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Barcelona, Catalonia, hopefully for the last time. As we'll get a decent start here. Obviously we started on the left-hand side now because of Aaron's fortunate way of ending his race. So we only got 18 or 19 runners left. So we go side by side here off the start with, I think that's Wogboy on the far right. Yes, it is. So going side by side, had to shift down there. Dr. Dre's going very wide there off the start. As we're now going to go watch on with this battle here. Like I said, there's we get back focused here. There's, like I said, a couple of guys are on soft compounded tyres. Their tyres maybe won't last too long compared to the mediums, but they could do the one stop potentially. There's the potential that is still out there, but this battle is going on there. I think there's that Swaggy, I think, in the McLaren, and one of the Alpha, might be Amazing Hour in the Alfa Romeo, who's now, I think he became full-time driver either at the last round of Belgium or going into this one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a few driver movements. A few guys went back to reserves, and a few guys that were reserves end up in full-time drivers. I think Dr. Dre was another one. I think originally it was supposed to be Dr. Dre and in the Alpha and Amazing Hour and the Red Bull. But I think that got switched around because I know for sure Amazing Hour and Mac are good mates, so I know there have been teammates in the past in other leagues. I won't specify because they don't want to specify other leagues, which other league it was, but and because I was I sort of associated with it as well. But anyway, we'll focus back on this race. So we're still in P9, obviously. We've got Macca behind us as well, who's keeping us well in check at the moment. He's on the hard compounded tyres as well, so interesting to see how that battle goes on as Wogboy and Dr. Dre are battling away here. That's the battle for 7th and 8th in that race. So I think Dre hangs on for the time being as we run very deep there going into turn 7 and 8. That was always a tricky point. Don't ask me where the hell I was going back then, but that was definitely not ideal as we was keeping, it was like I said, Maka was definitely keeping us in check now as we begin lap 3 now, as there's yellow flags there. And I think you'll find it's my teammate who's no idea what's happened there, whether he's done that on his own here or whether somebody else has got caught up in that one. But he's way down pretty much at the back of the field now, so hopefully he can make a bit of a comeback and we'll score some decent points at least. So, but we're looking okay at the moment with P9. I probably should remember the point system as Dre get a little bit sideways coming off the exit there at turn 5. Like I said, I probably should know the point system by now in this league as we get a little bit sideways ourselves. It was always the struggle with the way we're riding the curbs. As now my team, Toddy's now, in the pit lane. Shouldn't that'll be for a front wing change and to the hard tyres. These two in front are still battling away. Position here is I think Wogboy's trying to do the crisscross here, and I think he does it here coming out of turn 5. He should have the inside line here into 7, and he does. So Wogboy now into 7th place. Hopefully we can catch up now. Well, the next plan basically was to try and catch up to Dr. Dre, but I think he's come into the pit lane, so he must have realised that the softs were the wrong choice of tyre to go on there. So we're now moved ourselves up into P8 there. We still managed to get, I think we got the DRS actually from Dr. Dre there, so we managed to keep ourselves ahead of Macca for the time being, Stuart McKenzie. And now we're going to hopefully still keep up behind Wogboy for the time being, while sort of dragging Macca along a little bit there. And of course I was in no party chat as well. Okay, let's have a look at the replays from the start. He's on board with Amazing Hour, F1 Amazing Hour. Of course, he's obviously, I have mentioned in the past, he was a very quick driver on the pad, but he's made the move over to the wheel, and he joined the league as a reserve earlier, but now is a full-time driver, now in Alpha, but he's now over the back here of 40 in the Racing Point as the Revolution, I think, went right a little bit there. That gave 40 incentive up the inside there, and if he can hang on,
up the inside of Revolution,
contact there,
the big old squeeze.
Amazing Al will go right around the outside. He can just hang on.
He's gone wide himself, the fucking twat.
It's a nice bit of colourful language there from Amazing Al, but side by side, I think Revolution should have the inside line. He does, and Swaggy obviously not too far behind either. But let's jump on board here with Stuart McKenzie, who started obviously right behind me in P11. Obviously would have started P12 had Aaron, if Aaron was allowed to continue to race, but obviously it was a fortunate way for him then, but for him. But I think he ended up in the commentary box helping out there as getting a little bit sideways off the curb. That curb is just, if you can't write the curb wrong, it just Dre going very, very wide there, nearly losing the car altogether. But if you don't ride the curb well over a turn 2, then obviously it'll put you off quite a bit here. Now, on board with Plevs here. Now, you can probably tell something is a bit odd here because that's my car off to the left-hand side there. And he did mention this, I think, after the race as well. That obviously I was red Xing on Pleb's screen, but even though I'm a little bit further up the field there, he was having a little bit of fun here. I think both might have been Plebs and El Tonki might have been in a party together from memory, and they were having a bit of a laugh when, or maybe El Tonki was having a bit of a laugh when Plebs was getting past me, but not knowing the fact that I'm actually a little bit further up the road there. There you go, bless Plebs up by a so-called car, but I'm a bit further up the road. Something happened there to Toddy, the rear end. No, he went in a little bit too deep there to Plebs. It slams into the back across. He now has got front wing damage. You'll have to put up with that. A little bit sideways there. I don't know whether there was contact at all with anybody. Bit hard to tell there as there goes Tile Tonky just taking out my car there. But again, point out, I'm a bit further up the road. I'm nowhere near these guys. Let me point that out. There's what happened with Toddy. So, yeah, a bit hard to tell what happened there. But let's have a look on board here with Wogboy, with this beautiful crisscross that he did. So he goes out wide, and again, just the crisscross. Look at that beautiful run there from Wogboy up in position 2. Hopefully I've got your graphic and the car number right. I apologise if I got that wrong. I did get it wrong a little bit with Stuart McKenzie's one, but we have rectified that one. I don't know whether you guys are running the same number or what, but anyway. Yeah, there's Toddy down at turn 2, so his race is now going down the drain at this point. So Haas are not quite having a good day. Well, one car and Haas is not having a good day, and the other one's doing okay-ish at the moment. But again, it's a long race. But we set our personal best there on that lap 7. We did start to gap a little bit behind to Stuart McKenzie. I have a bit of enough a gap there as, oh, why word. Swaggy's gone. He's out. He's hit the wall and out of the race.
Okay, clear.
As a virtual safety car has now been deployed.
We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
I think you'll find that maybe Swaggy's just pretty much just decided to just drive into a wall there. So I don't know whether there was contact earlier on in the race, but you can literally see here, he just literally drives straight into the wall. It's a pretty big accident, and then pretty big crash in the end that brings out the virtual safety car. And then usually, obviously, there was a rule that was brought out back at Canada, I think it was, that if you deliberately crash out or something along those lines, and you bring out either a virtual safety car or a safety car that literally could affect the race or something, that's you will get penalised for it. And I think Swaggy have got penalised for it. I can't remember off the top of my head there, but anyway, Toddy's now out of the Grand Prix, so yeah, he's at not quite the great race that he had here at Adobe Esports. So there he is, off to the left-hand side there. So anyway, basically we're the lone ranger now in the Haas team. We only got 16 runners here as well, I think. The last it's only lap 8 as well, mind you. So we just started to drop away a little bit from Wogboy behind, who seemed to have pretty decent pace as well. We still had Stuart McKenzie right up our rear end as well here as we run a little bit wide coming down the final chicane. By this point in time, I just felt like I just simply just don't have the pace here. So, I mean, if Macca gets pretty close to you, I just feel like I'm just going to have to let him go here, which I just pretty much just put everything back to lean mix and to none. Just lifted off the throttle as well and just let Macca cap the position. So he jumps up into 7th, we go back to 8th. But I was hoping Macca would help me a little bit with dragging me a bit closer back to Wogboy as well. So hopefully that is the case in the next few laps here. But back we go here with Plebs. Oh no, he and El Tonki have made contact. That's just damaged his front wing even more there. So he's much, well, red front wing compared to yellow front wing. Not ideal anyway. Like I said, I think these guys in the party, we're in the party together. I can't quite confirm that, but yeah, he did hand back the position in the end there, that Plebs to back to El Tonki, and he does come into the pit lane for a set of hard compound tyres and a new front wing, obviously. And away he goes. So put him back at the back of the grid, pretty much in dead last because Toddy's now obviously out of the Grand Prix. Back we go here to Amazing Hour, going around the outside of Aussie Wizzy Rex.
Oh, he's hit me.
Might have been a little bit of slight contact there. Like I said, Aussie Wizzy Rex on the soft compounded tyres. And I think you'll find he pits at the, yes, he does. He's pitted at the end of this lap here. So, I mean, he's done a pretty decent job to get soft compounded tyres to, what's that, the end of lap 9. So, pretty fair effort all around from Aussie Wizzy Rex there. I think I've known in the past that soft compounded tyres, well, the softer compounded tyres does not really do you a world of good around here, as Macca gets a little bit sideways coming out of turn 7 and 8 there. But this was sort of helping a little bit, helping me a little bit here with obviously me helping him. Well, I'll get my words right in a minute. It's helping me out by like dragging me closer to Wogboy a little bit more. As you can see, the gap's started to close here between himself and Wogboy. And this was sort of helping out. And again, the red Xing is mainly because of my internet, so it's not perfect, like I said, regional internet, as we set our personal best on lap 12 of the race. So hopefully in future, whenever I win the million or something, I might buy a house that has much better internet there. But there's that's Lazy Tower going very, very wide there, so he's not having a great race either, by the looks of it. One Ferrari. There's my ghost car on the front. Here we go then, as Plebs I think is going to make a move here on my so-called AI car, even though I'm a bit further up the road. I think I'm about in sector 2 compared to where Plebs is on the racetrack there, but Maka again just getting a little bit sideways. It's a tricky corner, turn 7 and 8. You just literally just put one little foot wrong and you'll easily, you could easily spin the car. But Lazy Tail's pitted and is now retired, so he's out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunate for him, but there's Wogboy now coming into the pit lane. This is pretty much where I had to strike here. Well, not so much in passing Maka, as Revolution's also come into the lane as well. But this is the chance pretty much I have to do to try maybe do an overcut on Wogboy here. So, and like I said, this was sort of helping me with the sort of the slipstreaming and the DRS that I was gaining from Maka behind. I mean, I was not going to pass him, let's be honest, with the difference of the tyres. But here's Wogboy in the lane. As I said, Revolution's in the lane, so hard compounded tyres, away he goes. I think he'll come back out in relatively fresh air, considering where Dr. Dre is. I don't think he's anywhere near on that mini-map there, but yeah, I mean, I was going to pass Maka because we're on two different strategies here, because he's on the hard compounded tyres and we're on the mediums. And so we're going to box at the end of this lap, but fingers crossed, all that stuff with the slipstream into DRS, and obviously with helping Maka helping a little bit with me gaining a little bit back on Wogboy, maybe helped out a little bit. Hopefully the overcut can work as we literally give it everything into the pit lane to just get that overcut, hopefully. As also Amazing Hours in the lane as well. So I think he's trying to do an undercut on the leaders.
Go now.
Is this going to be enough to give me a leg up over Revolution?
Well, this will be closer as well between, because I think he's behind Revolution at the pit stops, and there's the coming out of the pit lane. I think he's got the jump on Revolution. He does. So he's got the overcut on one of his key men, but the other guys will have to wait and see when they do eventually pit for their stop, which I don't think will be too far away. Well, onto the hards of the way we go. Now, obviously, Amazing Hour got the jump on Revolution. Where is Wogboy compared to us here? As we make our way out of the lane here, as you can see, it is pretty close here, and I think we're also going to get the overcut here on Wogboy, which is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted here. So literally, I was like saying, yes, come on, let's do this. Literally, like thanking Maka as well for helping me out there as well. Yeah, like I was saying, you little ripper, that's just what I needed. So we got the jump on Wogboy. This is literally what we wanted. We're on the freshest tyres as well. Hopefully we can start to pull away from Wogboy behind. Otherwise, we'll probably be battling here for maybe the rest of this race. But literally just giving it everything we can on cold tyres as well. Very sideways off the exit there.
There they are.
There's Amazing Hour. So this is, you can see the guys in front there. That's both 40 and Zach, I think it is, in the foreground. Yes, it is. So he's gained a bit of time on these guys, but not quite enough to jump them. But he has started to pull away, I think, from X Revolution there. But we are now under a bit of attack here. That does not help coming out of the final corner there. So that's going to put us under a bit of pressure here. I literally had to cover down the inside. No other choice here. Obviously, Wogboy will have the DRS, and the lag will sort of help him out a little bit as well as he gets around the outside. But we're not done with yet, obviously. Like I said, we've got the one fresher tyres compared to him. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can keep with him for hopefully the remainder of this race. But he started to literally pull a little bit of a gap here. But like I said, I knew I wasn't done here, so I just need to keep within that 1 second bracket, and hopefully we can get the DRS as we get a little bit sideways there as we go for a spin. And around to go, and all that literally goes out the window there. Unfortunately, we lose spots there to Dre, to Spilly, to Wafer. I think somebody else. One of the no, sorry, it might have been somebody else.
That move was illegal. Return the position.
I'm sorry, what? Illegal overtake on plebs? Are you freaking mad? I was like, at this point, I was just like, okay, 5 second penalty, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, literally at this point, how? Plebs is nowhere near me. And literally, let's literally put the nail in the coffin for me. I thought, like, you know what, fuck this game. This I've just had enough. After all these lobby restarts and whatnot, I just thought, fuck it. We'll just retire. That's it for us here. But I'll look at this screenshot here. Obviously, that's me with the sort of brown triangle, you could say. And Plebs is the yellow dot there on the front straight. I question, how on earth is that an illegal overtake? How? Literally, I'm over this game at this point in time. I literally have no words. I don't know literally what to say there, but yeah. Anyway, that was our race done, unfortunately. So thankfully, I did get a few obviously POVs for the rest of this race. Macca did come in. Stuart McKenzie come in at the end of lap 19. There's Wogboy. Obviously, he was battling with him as well, along with myself earlier on, but. There's a look. He's Wogboy doing a little bit of a weave there, maybe a little bit too much there. You only think you allow one move, but anyway, Macca makes that move pretty much stick there, and he's up into 6th place. Next up is, not further up the road there, is Aussie Wizzy Rick, and doesn't take him too long as he sets the fastest lap of the race as well. So he's got speed to burn here with those fresh mediums. And Aussie Wizzy Rick went on to the hard compounded tyres, so he's trying to one-stop, just go from softs to hards, which he's done a pretty decent job. To get up into 5th place, but now it is Stuart McKenzie who's now into 5th place for now. But lap 26, well, it would be for now anyway because Mac has pulled away. But he's Wogboy trying to go around the outside here of Wizzy Rick, going side by side, but not quite close enough in the end. But it won't be done with yet with those guys. As here's Plebs, pretty much very old hard compounded tyres. I think he's definitely give it up at this point. He's going on to the soft compounded tyres for the remainder of this race here. He's Macca again. He's literally got speed to burn here.
I've set my PV purple middle sector this race.
Yep, as he does, and he's just made his way past X Revolution there for 4th position. I think the podium's definitely a bit out of the question there. Unless there was a few more laps up his sleeve, I really doubt it. This stage of the race, but anyway, lap 31, Wogboy putting pressure again on Aussie Wizzy Rick down the front straight here, and I think you should get it right around the outside. It's going to be difficult. Should have the inside line for this turn 2, and I think he does have it for now. Yes, he does. There's not much difference. Oh, well, a few laps difference between the tyres, obviously, between both those hards for both Aussie Wizzy Rick and Wogboy. There's Plebs again for another fresh set of soft compounded tyres. I think he's definitely. His race has literally gone down the drain. I think he was trying for a fastest lap of the race here. Stuart McKenzie goes red. Oh, no!
Oh, have I been hit?
Oh, what's happened there?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell there whether that was curb related or whether there was actually contact between X Revolution there. It was definitely hard to tell there, but I think you'll find coming down on the front straight here is on the last lap here.
I think
Revolution's down the front straight here. He's actually decided to redress the situation there, so there must have been slight contact between those two there. So that's good sportsmanship there from X Revolution. Might have just put his hand up there, I think, and said that I probably made the contact there and spun me around. So, and I felt that obviously there was an unfair move, so he's given him the spot back. So good, great driving, great sportsmanship all around there. But tell you what, Wogboy and Wizzy Rick, this battle's not done with yet here. This is, I thought Wogboy would have the pace with the much fresher hards, but Wizzy Rick goes up the inside and he's going to get the move done for P6. What a great recovery. Good job there from both those boys. But anyway, that was the podium, how it finished up in the end there. So 40, I think's got the race victory ahead of Zach and F1 Amazing now. So that's your first 2 positions there. I had to get obviously the podium celebrations and the race results after this one. So there's the final race results. I think Zach had a penalty, so that might have cost him a little bit there. But there's the top 3. Revolution at a 4th, Stuart McKenzie 5th, Aussie Wizzy Rick 6th, and what was it? Wogboy 7th, Billy gaining away for Romeo Alonso in 10th. Then you got Crossy, Dr. Dre, Plebs, El Tonki, and then the rest were DNFs there. We don't really need to talk about that and the rest there. But quick look at the standings. It's now 40 points between Zach Crichton and 40. Revolution's there as well, 5 points behind there. Stuart McKenzie, then Spilly in 5th. All the way down to there's Toddy in P15, and we're back in 17th place. So not ideal, to say the least, and Toei Z's really ends in last position. Mercedes, quite a dominant advantage there. Not quite 100 points. I don't. No, it's not quite 100 points. Under 96 points, something like 94 points probably. Yeah. Anyway, if you But anyway, yeah, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Dynamic Nights Esports Master on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. Or, as always, all my social media links will be down in the description below. But until the next one, which is... What is next? I don't actually know. That might be USA. Yes, it is USA, actually. But yeah, until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.
I want to tell you a little story about